There's a big conspiracy about that, about the Manson family, and the fact that Charles Manson was a part of MK Ultra.
Oh, yes, right. Yes, right. So we
Did you ever read Chaos by Tom O'Neill?
No, I haven't read
it's
that.
It's a fantastic book. It's all about why Manson kept getting released. You know, Manson was in jail, right? And during the time he was in jail, he was visited by Jolly West, who was the head of the CIA's MK Ultra LSD experiments. They most certainly did something to Manson while he was in jail. And they also supplied him. There's anecdotal evidence that shows that they supplied him with LSD when he got out of jail. Every time he got arrested for violating parole, these cops and these local sheriffs that had caught him were told that it was above their pay grade and they had to release him. Manson got out for multiple offenses after he was on parole, things that should have kept him locked up. There's some real good evidence that, you know, about MK Ultra was a real thing. And that's right. An interesting conspiracy, right? Because it's a real one, documented.
Our own government was doing this.
Well, there's Operation Midnight Climax that they were involved with, where they were, do you know about that one? That's where they were dosing up Johns when they would go to visit prostitutes, and they would film them through two-way mirrors.
Right.
You know, Jolly West was a part of that, and he also was a part, in some way, shape, or form, of that Manson family.
Okay, but my point is that let's say it was the mayor of Dallas that was shot that day, would there be vast conspiracy industry of books and films and so on?
Who knows? But it wasn't the mayor. It was the president of the United States, which makes it a far bigger issue.
Right, that's my point. We want something big. It doesn't seem right that a lone nut like Lee Harvey Oswald could have pulled this off, or that 19 guys with box cutters could have taken down the World Trade Center buildings. It just doesn't feel right. So we add elements. This is my theory. We add elements of causality to match it. You know, princess died, cause of death, drunk driving, speeding, no seatbelt. But it doesn't feel right that a princess, famous and so forth, would die the same way.
Yeah, but you're adding a bunch of different conspiracies to one that's very specific. Well, you're adding a bunch that are much more easily disprovable than one that's very specific. This is my problem with all conspiracy theories. And one of the things that you said at the beginning, some of them are real.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so let's distinguish conspiracy theories from conspiracies. Conspiracies, by definition, are two or more people plotting in secret to gain an unfair, illegal, or immoral advantage over somebody else. That happens all the time, right?
Sure.
So how do we know? So it's a signal detection problem. How do you know which conspiracy theories are correct? They tag an actual conspiracy, right? So I draw this 2x2 grid. So up here you have real conspiracy theories that are real, and you associate them with that correctly. You say, yeah, that's what I agree. That's a hit. So conspiracy theories that are real, and you go, no, I don't believe it. I don't think there's a real conspiracy. That's a miss. So that's a big miss, right? That's a type 2 error. You don't want to miss those because those are real. That could harm you. Down here you have conspiracy theories that are not true, and you think they are. So that's a false positive, a type 1 error. That's a low-cost error to make. It doesn't cost a lot. It's not risky to assume a conspiracy theory is real when it's not. And so this is my argument, is that we've evolved this cognition to be very suspicious and paranoid about other people and what they're doing because historically and evolutionarily wise, in these small bands and tribes of hunter-gatherers, anthropologists tell us there's a lot of conniving and cabals and so on. This goes on. So I call this constructive conspiracism. It pays to be a little paranoid, because sometimes they really are out to get you.
But it also pays to be rational and recognize which ones are conspiracies and which ones are probably people just in the moment of chaos like 9/11, adding a bunch of stuff to what they've experienced in just the chaos of the incident. And I've heard explosions. I saw this, I saw that. And you know that in times like that of great distress, people and eyewitness testimonies are some of the most unreliable.